Hey everyone, welcome to Frankly Aaron. When you look at the type of person I am and who I've become, obviously my relationship with Jesus Christ has a lot to do with that. But I also look at the number of people that have been in my life and have influenced it. I don't have time to mention every person. This would be a long video. There's some that have been in my life just for a season, and then there's those that have been in my life my entire life. But when I look at right now, probably the most five influential people that I would consider sort of like spiritually significant to me right now. Um, Number five would be a friend of mine, Nick Britton. Uh, when I got this job, he was one of the first people to become a monthly partner and sponsor me financially. He started helping out at 37 Frank to get the place going. He would install and fix different things around the center, and then of course he became an actual volunteer once we opened, and he's just been there for me in so many ways. If I have to vent my frustrations about something, I can go to him, and I know he's not going to say anything or anything like that. So yeah, he's just been a real friend. Number four, I would say another friend of mine, Tim Gibb. I've known him since high school, but we really became close after high school, and we were just two young guys doing ministry, even though neither of us were trained in any way. But of course, he went on to become a pastor, and here I am a missionary. And so a couple years ago, we had a chance to do summer camp together, and it was so neat to see us come back together and do ministry with us now, being adults and actually in ministry. And even though he left First Lobo shortly after that, my family still considers him to be Pastor Tim. We love him, and um, I sometimes go months, even years, without seeing him just because of distance. But when we get together, it's like that no time had ever passed, and yeah, he's just a real friend. And yeah, number three would be a YFC employee by the name of Carl. Part of his ministry is becoming a life coach and offering his service to other YFC employees. And I wasn't sure quite what I was getting into at first, but I really enjoy talking to Carl. We meet over online couple times a month, and I just talk. And he doesn't really do a whole lot of coaching in terms of telling me what to do, but he gives me the skills. And I found out first, when I was going to him, I was in tears and not sure what to do. Now when I go to him, I'm like, well, I had this issue, but now I kind of overcame it. And he said, that I give him credit, but he's like, no, you have the skills to deal with these issues. I just help out where I can. But he's become a real friend. I just love talking to him. And yeah, I'm glad to have him sort of as a mentor or coach in my life. Number two would be Pastor Doug. When Pastor Tim left Lobo, I wasn't sure what my future at that church was going to be, but a phone call from Pastor Doug changed all that. And over the past year, him and I have just become really, really close. And I think now the fact that I know that he's retiring in May, it just makes me cherish every moment that I have with him. I just learned a lot, and I love working with him. I love talking, just about important issues or just casual conversation. So he's been really influential in my life. But number one has to be Dave Rodan. When I met him in 2017, I had lost my job as a TV producer, and I didn't know where God was calling me next. I was getting very frustrated, and so the two things that made sense was taking this youth ministry course, and the other was getting back involved with YFC at the time as a volunteer with Dave. And I really caught his vision of what he wanted to do eventually with what became 37 Frank. And then the one day where he just says to me, as much as I value as a volunteer, I'd value even more as an employee. And ever since then, I've sort of become under his learning tree. He has a very unique way of leadership, not just not just in the secular workplace, but even in churches. You don't see this kind of leadership. Maybe you should see more of it, but it's a very sacrificial type of leadership, and it's not easy. It's not easy all the time, but my life has changed a lot because of Dave, and I just cherish our relationship and our friendship. And so those are the five people that really, I think, influence me the most right now. That could change, of course, but those guys mean so much to me, and there's probably a number of other people too that I just don't have time to mention that have made a huge impact on my life. That's it for this week. We'll see you next time.